Okay, cool. Been a minute, but ultimately not too long. What was it? I think it might have been a week actually. Yeah. So I think the last thing I think I was talking about was like work possibly, but maybe I didn't even dive into that. Because what happened was, I think right after I got done recording, or maybe that was the week of, or I don't even know. But I went from working for Fairly Odd Parents at the Burbank Studios for Nickelodeon. It was a live action sitcom remake of the Fairly Odd Parents. It's like a reboot, right? And I went from working there to the show called New to This Planet. It's actually just a pilot for the show. And it was in the same building, same studio. And then I ended up working for Danger Force, spinoff of Henry Danger. Also in the same building, in the same studio, but on the other side, or we shared the building, right? And they had been filming in the same building as us since I've been there shooting Fairly Odd Parents. Thing is that they had been shut down because of COVID twice when I got to Fairly Odd Parent. Like I said, we shared the building, so they were shut down, but we weren't. We didn't have access to their sides and their stuff to the building. We did share some parts of the area and like the turnaround and some parts of the building, but ultimately we didn't interact with the crew or cast of the other show. Yeah, they get shut down twice as soon as they get to the Fairly Odd Parents. Like it's a day and then they get shut down again. But I'm working in the same building and for two different shows almost, and it's like, we're fine. So then I start working at Danger Force, right? Now I'm on the other side of the building. I got access to the whole shebang. We come back, it's a new year, new job. It's great. I work for a whole week and then we get shut down and not supposed to be coming back till what's supposed to be next Monday, tomorrow. But I ended up getting asked to come back for Friday on Thursday. So I come back, I test on Friday morning, do the rest and test and work the whole day. The next day, yesterday, Saturday, we're shut down again. Might not be coming in on Monday. So crazy thing is that literally just happened before I put on the microphone. I came out here, well, the longer story is that I decided to do this today, and I came out here to do this at a different location, to try a different location. But there was very many people at that location, and that location is at least two or three different locations that I could actually shoot. And this one is home base. No one really here. I don't mind people watching me from up there. People down there on the path can't really see me or hear me. It's very tranquil. I like it over here. So I ended up coming back here and setting up shop. But as I was setting up the cameras, I went to go pull out my microphone and I realized I had a phone call that I missed. But ultimately, it was a job offer for a production assistant at Disney for Bunk'd. Also through my friend Shari's recommendation. I haven't even told her yet. I literally just had this. I called the lady back and I was like, yeah. You know, other show's been shut down. They need me for Tuesday, so I'm not even coming back for Monday. I can only see that they're going to be shut down for at least 2 weeks. I also got the booster shot last Tuesday, so like it's a whole thing. It's really out here. But yeah, you know, I'm aware it's real and things are happening. But regardless, I need to work. So I said yes to this Disney job, you know, this Bunk'd, and my friend Shari had worked there, so, you know, I know it's gonna be good people. And I'm pretty sure, from what I remember, it's gonna be all women. I know there's nothing wrong with that, but that's something to know. That's something to take into consideration when you want to go into a job. Like people that you will be working with potentially and the environment that you will be working in. So there's that. But Disney is dope to have on a resume. Are you kidding me? Thing is, I'm trying to get closer. Crazy thing is, I had to have a week off after the week that I worked for Danger Force. I ultimately ended up setting up a bunch of meetings to talk to people. So I ended up talking to the homie, Neil, producer, attorney, music agent, freaking all around Renaissance guy, DJ, probably killing stand up if he did. I don't even remember if he did it, but I'm pretty sure he could. Get Neil Sampat, the OG homie. And then also Haley, Sterling K. Brown's assistant. Also well-rounded person, like she's the sweetest, nicest, most dedicated, hardworking, efficient, and dope person. She is always willing to help, even if it's just to talk, you know? She's definitely the homie. And Sterling himself. It was like, Tuesday? And I was also getting back in the gym. Like solid 2 weeks just to try to do. I was gaining weight. Wasn't feeling right physically. Got back into the gym, boost up my confidence. That's the thing. That's how colorful the week is, honestly, is I had a date on Monday, and it was chill. I honestly had stood this girl the night before, just because I had a really tiring week. The week before, it was like a dank week. So yeah, I KO'd. We were supposed to go out that night, but it didn't work out. You know, luckily she was still somewhat cool about it, and then we ended up hanging. That was dope. Kind of just getting out the house and like meeting somebody and seeing somebody again, just from being inside all this time is nice. So I guess yeah, it was cool. Then Tuesday I had that meeting with Neil. I really just kind of called him, talked to him, let him know. You know, he ended up calling me back later that night. The whole conversation, told him what I was up to with Cuffed and the short film, and me working for Nickelodeon and all this stuff. Me moving out to downtown LA. And then yeah, he goes into telling me that he had a chance to produce 2 features already, or at least he produced one. He's in the middle of producing another. He's over there on the East Coast for Philly. I met Neil at a viewing that showcased Sterling's film called Waves a couple years ago. Dope film, really spoke to me, brought tears to my eyes, especially Sterling's portrayal of the father in that movie. And met Neil there, kind of hit it off with him. We were talking for hours in the parking garage. Told me a lot of things, confidence, what's the worst that anything can happen if people say no. Like, you know, just kind of go with a vibe, don't be afraid, just kind of people are people, you know, people are gonna be how they are, but that can't stop you from doing stuff. And he was just hearing me, and he ended that conversation, from what I remember, just saying, we should meet up again, and you'll know when you need me. You'll pretty much know when you'll need people like me, is what he was saying. Like, I was still in school, so for the most part, he just hears potential, like a huge amount of potential. Music agent wise, he's Kehlani's music agent. That's pretty cool. I make music for fun, so it's like really cool to have that in the back of my head. But ultimately, from what he sees, it's like, you know, films, like the potential to do film, and that's what he wants to do. That's what he wanted to do at the time. That's what ultimately we've been able to flourish, and just budding into seeing what we can really do, what we really want to do. Test our limits, test our boundaries in the industry, and like what we can bring to the table. Then I was able to bring him to a couple of the events that were happening through the Academy Gold internship. Again, like after that, I was able to kind of talk to him and be like, yeah, so that's pretty much what I can do for now. I mean, like I was still in, like I said, I was still in school. I still don't really quite know what I can do to reach out to him. I don't think I've reached the point where he said, you'll know when to reach out, you'll know when you'll need me. Because he reiterated it again when I brought him to the internship. So, and it's been dope, because that's years ago, and I was just talking to him last week. So it's really great to be able to network and follow through and actually make those connections and strengthen that, revisit, kind of talk. So then I was able to talk to Haley on Wednesday, and she was great. She was at Sterling's house. She was telling me that Sterling's wife, Ryan Michelle, she is filming her own show that she's a part of for NBC on the East Coast. And Sterling's also doing his show, This Is Us, but also about to shoot another show for Hulu, but also taking on all of his responsibilities for his production company, Indian Meadows. Like, he's reading scripts and like trying to get these stuff, you know, follow through. She's also helping read scripts, you know, helping him with that. Kids are in school, so he's got a lot of things going on, you know, and she's ultimately there to help out in any way that she can, any way that she's willing, any way that she's able. And that's, you know, what's so dope about her. She was doing all that other stuff, you know, doing stuff with her own life, and still, she was still making time to speak for me for about an hour or so. That was dope. So again, I updated her on everything, you know, told her about everything with Cuffed and Nickelodeon and Burbank and all that stuff. And so she asked, you know, what is there that I can do? And I told her similarly to what I told Neil, because ultimately I did send Neil my resume. And, you know, it's a renewed resume that I fixed up with my past bosses from production coordinators. And because Neil's got a job out here coming to LA potentially, so it'd be dope. You know, I told him don't hold back, you know what I'm saying? Like acting, production assistant, yeah, I got a resume with PA experience under my belt, so you know it's not gonna be too hard for you to throw the lob anymore. Similar to what I said to Neil's, what I said to Haley. I said, yeah, I got PA jobs on my resume, so like I would love to just get closer to you guys, closer to y'all, Paramount Studios, even if it's not This Is Us in particular. If I'm closer to you, that makes all the difference to me. I feel like just kind of through growth and the connections that I had made when I was able to visit This Is Us a couple of years ago. I'd love to pursue and engage about now, especially if I'm trying to get on this TV show directing vibe. I think I love that. The director of the episode that I visited, the vibe that he gave, and the entire day, the entirety of both days that I was there, loved it. I loved the energy, and I know it'll never be the same because it was literally 2019 pre-pandemic. But if there's a time where things ever get closer to that, that is exactly what I'm looking for and doing. I want to keep doing that for as long as I can. But he's the OG because he was dope, making him laugh. He was making me laugh. I was as close to the action. I met Omar Epps and stuff. 3 black men in the industry, forces in the industry throughout history, made history, our history. I was standing right there next to him. That's all I'm saying. Super excited. I'd love to get back there. Love to be back there and get a little bit more taste of that energy. But also I feel like I could really help now that I have the experience of a PA. Even if it is production assistant experience, just being over there, even if it's with him or his production company in the Meadows. They know what I'm trying to do, or at least they know what I'm about, and they know that I'm in the process of figuring out what I'm trying to do. And as of right now, I was able to tell them that, TV directing, the DGA programs and the directing development mentorships, I finally was able to dive deep into them. And a lot of them aren't like, a lot of them either have passed their application date or their websites haven't been updated since 2020 or 2021. Some even like 2019, 2020. There's a couple of things is that I will ultimately have to be waiting until the end of spring, summer, or fall to apply, which is fine because the film's not done yet. It's very close to be. It could be done totally, completely by the end of February, but the earliest director's development program or application, the deadline is February 6th. I don't know if we're gonna be able to get Cuff done in a week or two, or at least I would actually, it says for a lot of the applications to have at least 3 samples of work, and I think I might wanna focus on getting 2 other samples of work that I wouldn't mind submitting as directing content. My name as the director. So I gotta work on all that stuff anyway, and it gives me a motivation factor to do things. Because ultimately, I don't think I'm gonna be able to make that deadline. So I did the research on all the ones I wanted to. Warner Brothers, Viacom, HBO Access, Warner Media Access. There's the Milestone program where it's like animated TV shows for, adult animation. But DC specifically, like all the black comic book characters in the Dakotaverse, Static Shock and Static Shock. Gosh dang. What's the, if it's not coming, Icon, Sidekick. I don't remember, but I really fuck with Static. So I looked up to that program and, just animation and TV animation in general, like trying to go all out. The cool thing is a lot of them, or a few of them, you don't have to pay to apply and it's online stuff. And I think it'd be dope. 2 letters of recommendation. If I can get Sterling and or Lenny Gardner, that'd be amazing. That'd be so dope. That'd be, oh man. That'd be dope. To get like a general letter of recommendation from those guys, that'd be sick. The Warner Brothers Television Directors Development Program right now, that's the one that's due February, and that's, in reality, I might have to wait till 2023 to do that one if they have the program again, just so that I'm better. I'm in a better position to get accepted. Or maybe, I don't know, maybe I need to talk to somebody. Maybe I need to talk to somebody that might know better. And all I need is somebody to tell me to just fucking do it. We'll see. But then, yeah, so Thursday, I was able to talk to Sterling and told him everything. I told Neil and I told everything that I told Haley and I told him all the stuff that I was talking to them about. And I sent them the resume and everything. And, he's so happy. He's just so happy because he'd been with me through every step of the way with Cuffed. And still haven't talked about the drama and all the stuff that has happened in the past. And for me to get in the position that I am with Cuffed and everybody else with Cuffed. So, I don't know, another time. There's just so much that has happened recently that's been on my mind, and I haven't really been able to sort through it yet. So this is exactly what this is for. And so I'm out here, and yeah, so he's just so happy. He was with me every step of the way with Cuff. Showed him my place. The last time I really met with him in person was I was telling him that I was moving out to LA. I was able to show him the first minute of Cuffed because he asked. I wasn't too prepared, but because I was on my phone. I didn't even know you could screen share through Zoom on your phone, but apparently you can. So he saw the first minute before it started getting glitchy, and he was happy with it. He said it reminded him of the beginning of his show, the O.J. Simpson trials, and how there was kind of just this build up with the voices and the music and the visuals. So it was just, I was happy. I was so happy. I'm not worried. And ultimately, he's trying to set things up to where we can meet up in person again. And then, yeah, because I told him I was getting my booster and everything. So that might not happen till April, because he literally told me he had a 5-day window, 5-day gap in April from him. I think it was stopping This Is Us to shoot his other show in either, I think, Iceland or Mexico or somewhere all over the world. So you can obviously see why I'm trying to get closer to these guys. Definitely trying to get closer to him and pitch something that he might be interested in. He's not letting me in for whatever reason. Maybe it's just my way about going at it, or I don't know. It's not as fluid as I would like it to be. If it could be as fluid as the time we talked in the trailer, that'd be awesome. But it's just that when I was talking to them in the early stages, when I first, I'll just say after This Is Us, when I got to visit set, I was trying to see if I can get in a Zoom call or in a meeting in the writer's room for This Is Us or his production company, like if I could just sit in on one of the pitches that he was receiving. That's all I wanted. But he told me one of the ideas. I was inspired to do another thing. And it's completely different, but it has one theme in common. Just one. The only one thing. I'm not even gonna say it. But I don't even know if that's something that he's interested in, because it seems like everybody's trying to do comedy. It seems like everybody's trying to do comedy. It's not a bad thing, but it's just like, I don't think comedy is a genre. I think it's definitely an element to telling a story. But when I think of comedy, just the word comedy, I think there's enough funny parts in the movie for where you would be laughing for the majority of the movie, I guess. And then yeah, like I get that, but there's also got to be, I guess, plot and all this other stuff to take into consideration. But even when you're exploring those other aspects of the story that aren't supposed to be particularly funny or comedic, there's usually some sort of quip or line or beat in the scene that loosens the tension in order to move on, proceed with the story. And in that way, maybe every movie could be a comedy in a sense. But I'd rather that not be the case. Just saying, maybe I don't know what the fuck oh man. Hello, hello. Last thing I was talking about was comedy. There could be comedy in every aspect of a movie, not be labeled as a comedy. I think that's part of my point. But I don't know if it's true that you might not need comedy in order to call it a comedy. Maybe some sort of aspect of it. But you could have the funniest movie in the entire world, and satire comes along with it. I feel like, that's kind of like the same concept. But maybe, I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. I just think you can take any idea and make it funny in its own way, respectfully. They all want to be comedians, or at least they want to do funny stuff. And I think that's a whole art within itself, comedy. But maybe that's all it takes is to pitch it as a comedy Maybe that's all it takes. Take the idea you have and pitch it as the comedy, since everybody wants a comedy. Pitch it as a comedy. And then when they see that it doesn't fucking work, hey, what if it's this idea? But in parentheses, it's the idea that you had originally because you knew that shit wasn't gonna work as a comedy. So here is the original idea, the way it was intended. And maybe it even might make more sense. That's not even coming from a situation that I feel is in particular to anything that I've done, but I just feel like that makes sense. But on my part, I can at least say that I can try to take that concept and turn it into a comedy. I can try to take a lot of concepts and turn them into comedy. That just might be playing the game at that point. Because if that's something that I'm hearing, then it's like, damn. I'm hearing it from every writer that I talk to. Companies are accepting, funny stuff, or at least people have been down in the dumps for the past few years. It's time to laugh. I guess that's the vibe. I'm assuming. I don't know. But ultimately, Sterling ended up asking me what it is that I wanted, because I told him a conversation that I had with the assistant director of This Planet, I guess, at the time. And she had mentioned to me that knowing what I want is more broader than what I want as far as a career. And the question grows. The sense is like, what do you want out of your life? What type of lifestyle do you want to live? What do you want to do with your life? He asked me pretty much the same question. After I told him that, it was like, thinking about that gets overwhelming, and I don't really know. And I also told him, came with the other assistant director, that Deborah and Robin also asked me, how could you have gone from, or how does it feel to go from writer, director, you're on short and like working with Sterling and doing all this stuff, PA on a TV show. I didn't really see it like that. Never really felt like I was here. Never really felt like I got anywhere to be in a position to feel like I had to step down. I always honestly felt like I was down. I was always trying to take the first steps up. Not necessarily that I was down. I knew I wasn't down. Maybe I just knew I wasn't all the way down. But I was definitely always in this mentality of climb. Maybe I did feel down. Oh man, that's where I am now. And with the pandemic and everything too, it makes things a little bit more interesting, a little bit difficult. But I told her I wasn't afraid to serve. I'm not afraid to serve. And I told Sterling, I'm not afraid to serve. I'm still absorbing and I'm still learning. I have a bigger picture. I have my own bigger picture, and I'm aware that the picture can always be bigger. Like there's always a bigger picture, bigger than yours. And I just want to see how big I can get my canvas to be before I start painting. Maybe. I didn't say it to him like that exactly, but something along the line of that, because I kind of brain farted. Even when Deborah re-explained her question, I was like, I don't know. I haven't had the time to think about it. And when you're thinking about stuff like that, especially during quarantine and the pandemic, it's like, you have no idea, man. You just graduated. What do you mean? Like, I don't. How could you ask me that? But maybe the question, maybe the answer that he wanted was to always be directing something, to always be working, doing something that I want to do. I don't know. I'll ask him next time. That's not all I wanted to talk about. I don't know. That's all the stuff. Oh, then I did have had a date on Friday too. Different girl. I think dating is like, you ever had a Slurpee at 7-Eleven? Or maybe just you went into a restaurant and they had the fountain drinks ready for you. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people, I feel like, there's nothing wrong with this at all. And like, there's a lot of people that do this. And I tried it myself, where it's like you take the cup, right, the water cup, and you go through each and every flavor at the same time, thinking that it's gonna smack because all these flavors taste really good on their own. Then you go to taste it and it's like, damn. I fucked up. Ultimately, in that analogy, I think if you date so many people at once, at a time, you try to take on so much and so much life, so much energy, so many realities at once, they're bound to collide, and somebody will end up getting hurt or in a sticky situation, pun intended. I think I've learned to take my time, tell the truth, be honest, tell as much truth as is needed without feeling like you were holding the truth from somebody, without telling them too much to where they start worrying, or telling them too little to where they start second guessing. Answer them. And like the petty stuff, the little stuff, it's the little stuff that goes over a lot of people's heads, but that stuff adds up, builds up, marinates, and then when it's let out, it's just kind of ugly scene. So if it's stuff like that, just take a breath, just throw it out. Take all that, just throw it out. Whew. When you're talking to people, because even too, like I said, when you're dealing with a lot of people's realities, a lot of their junk sometimes might spill into your reality or your junk. It's just not good. Regardless, I'm at a place where I'm able to date and see where things go while being aware that I don't need to put all my chips in one basket. Chips? Eggs? Nuts? I don't have to make it seem as though it's the end-all be-all with one person, with one girl. So I keep all of my options open, and I'm protecting myself. And like I said, tell people what they need to hear in order for things to see where things go, in order to get to a certain place to where you might be able to stop talking to everybody else that you're talking to. But ultimately, you talk to all these people, and there's that one person that goes the distance with you that makes you not want to talk to everybody else. That's that person through all the other trials and tribulations that these people have been putting you through. So it's like taking my time. And that's a lot of advice from a lot of dudes that look like me, but older. It seems like they got it going on, man. They're vibing out, married or not. That's okay with me. So I went on this date on Friday, and it was chill. I was supposed to go stargazing, but it was cloudy, and it was just the moon. But it was dope because there was like this ring around the moon. It was kind of cool. But we ended up going to a different spot that I know of, another view of like LA, and had like a lawn chair. It was dope, she sat on my lap. I had blankets too. We were vibing, but ultimately, she stopped talking to me. But the other homegirl, going real slow with her, real slow. That's what I was saying previously. It's just that nothing makes sense, nothing set in stone. So yeah, as long as you feel safe, as long as you feel like you got it going on, like you know, some aspect of yourself that you feel is secure enough to take that leap, take that jump, leap of faith into the world or the game that is the dating game. But fuck that shit. Fuck all that. Fuck it. Man, I think that's all I want to talk about for now. Maybe the next one will go into all the other stuff I wanted to talk about before. I think it was talking about the quarantine and coming back. Because that's the thing. Right before I left to try to go shoot this today, I actually was clearing the cards out and everything and making sure everything was properly charged. But I was going through the memory cards, and I found that the cards, or at least one card, had footage of me trying to do this stuff in 2020 with another group of people. My college homies, the boys, the guys that I always pretty much filmed with for fun. Who knows that Seaside? Joe, Joseph, Smith, and Trey. I had different hair. I don't know, I might put clips up. But ultimately it failed. I just wasn't I wasn't ready. Wasn't ready. maybe I won't put clips in. But I had always been trying for the past 2 years to do this. I've been trying since high school, and that's technically like 6 years. Wait a second. Literally, yeah, like 6 years. 6, 7 years. But yeah, I think I'm good. I think I'm done. I think I feel a little bit better. How deep I got right now is how I always wanted to intend the depth of the show, or the depth of this, what I'm doing. That's myself. I don't know how else to put it. But that's myself. This is myself. This is how I prefer to interact with people. This is what I'd rather talk about. I'd rather talk about what other people have done, how things in their lives have made them feel, versus what other people, versus it just stopping at what other people have done to them and why they don't talk to people. I don't like talking shit. I don't like hearing other people talk shit about other people. I'd rather keep shit out of my mouth and not see it come out of anybody else's mouth, quite frankly. But I'd love to hear about you, or the person that is brave enough, courageous enough, open, vulnerable enough to talk to me, or a person like me. That's good. We'll wrap it up here. I'll keep the audio going. Oh. The plan is for us to go to, I guess, Porter Ranch, or like right underneath, or right beside Reseda Point, and kind of do this spoken word idea. Gonna be filmed as if it was a music video, but performed as if it was a music video also. Then we're gonna go to Palmdale and get affiliated with some sort of waterfall in the desert, and if that falls through, we have another idea. And after that, I don't know, smoke and chill somewhere after it's all said and done.
There you go. I'm going in. Oh, yeah. Scoob, see, the thing is with Scoob is it's like
it evolved.
It's like it's beyond like the meme at this point. It's like it's evolved to be Scoob. Like it's Scoob SKOOOB.
Scoob SKUBE. Scubby.
Scub.
Come on, Scubby.
I think it's the way we say it.
Damn, that shit just changed.
It keeps exposing for outside. It's like trying to get.
It's because I'm black.
Yeah, it's fine.
It's fine.
My buddy! I call him Stubby!
They do that, yeah. Oh, we gotta do that more.
I got distracted by
Scubby! I love Scubby!
Like, this is fine. I just need to be. Cause I didn't want to do this. I didn't want to do this.
You want to be like an actual vlogger?
I wanted it to be like a reality shit, but like, I can do it. This needs to happen.
Yeah. Probably. If you wanted that to be a vlogger, yeah.
I wanted to be the camera guy.
Yeah.
But like, people thought that shit was weird. You know, like recording people and myself without permission. And then I was like, let me just put the camera away. And I kind of miss having I miss recording people, and I recording stuff actually happen. But
miss people.
Yeah, I miss people.
I just miss people.
Scubby! Fuck. I was gonna be like in there. Oh shit.
Something there too.
I'm down. I'll get in there.
You get it. Oh yeah, there might be some snakes.
Yeah.
I'm down. I'll get in there. Cause I was thinking something up here.
Oh yeah.
I was gonna get up there again, put my clothes on, and
Yeah, make sure you put your clothes on.
you know, I could have just took my other shoe off and then put my pants back on, but instead I retied my shoe back on my foot so that I could actually go through with
Now you better stop filming now, you coomer.
I'm sweating.
His face, 'cause I'm trying to expose his face properly,
Yeah.
but at the same time, the background, if I expose his face kind of properly, like obviously the background's gonna be too,
It's brighter.
yeah, like it'll be almost out. So I'm exposing right now for the background and trying to keep it, but it might be just too dark, right?
Yeah, I think the problem is
You see that?
I
Just
should
say that
just be
shit.
in the back and be like, "Are you happy?"
I honestly did pretty good that first run.
Yeah.
I might be able to do it.
if not, just go for it and just keep,
I would just do like
Yeah.
just that first part up until where like
that's
like just if you get that one last part right and then you stop there. It was like what, unhappiness or something. If you stop there and then we either do a different shot or something and just do them in sections.
Okay.
That's
a
gonna be
good
the
call
best
too.
way to do it.
Yeah, that's a really good call too.
Here's go. Go. Okay. Go. You ready?
Yeah. That shit sucked.
Oh fuck me.
That's
I
so
think for some of it you just literally need to do just like line.
somewhere else.
Yeah,
And
I
Or
different-
just like
yeah.
line by line though,
Yeah.
so that you just like, because the ones where you really need to
Yeah.
emphasize it, I would say like, you got it though. You're like right there. I would
But-
just keep them running back, and
Yeah.
you'll start to get it.
Just keep going.
Because we're just doing little mini sections, so if you just keep running it back,
Yeah.
Okay.
it'll become more familiar.
Okay.
I would also, throughout this whole time that we're going to be shooting out here, I think we should also just get some B-roll of just like nature and stuff.
Okay.
So if it happens to be where we have like a bad take of something or it doesn't match look
And
like
cover it
wise,
with-
we cover it up with that.
Because that makes it
And that will look good too. Like,
that makes it better for me because
Yeah.
I'm not gonna go off the sync.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna perform it. I'm gonna perform it in the best similar way I can
Exactly.
And
possibly.
if you mess up, you mess up. You know,
Right,
so
and you can
whatever.
fill it with something. And that way you're going to be smooth and you're going to be,
Thank you guys.
You got this. You got this, Scubby.